Zina, thank you so much. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon, Coach Deon. Good afternoon, Frans. Deon, I'll start off. Deon, kan ek net vinnig vra, as jy bemagtig om vir ons te sê wat die status van Lode Jager is en hoe en Deon, kan jy ook sê bietjie teleurstelling in Ierland gewees. Hoe gaan die dinamiek verander hierdie week in die aanloop tot die wedstryd teen Frankryk meneer? Dankie.
Percy, ja, Lode Jager is beseer, hy het 'n skouerbesering opgedoen, so hy is nie beskikbaar vir hierdie wedstryd nie. Ja, en dan natuurlik is ons teleurgesteld dat ons nie die resultaat gekry het wat ons graag sou wou nie. Maar ons het natuurlik 'n goeie bespreking sessie gehad rondom verskeie aspekte waar ons voel ons kan verbeter op en maar ons fokus is nou heeltemal net op hierdie komende wedstryd. Ons weet Frankryk is 'n baie goeie span, 'n baie goeie oorwinning gehad in Australië die afgelope Saterdag, so dat gaan 'n baie groot uitdaging wees, maar ja, dit is iets waarna ons uitsien en ons hoop om te verbeter.
Nathan?
Thank you, Zina. Good day, gentlemen. I hope you guys have traveled safely in France. Coach, yeah, I'm assuming that the management has done a thorough review of last week's game. Arguably two of the best teams with the set pieces, yourselves with Ireland, and following suit is France. Can you just give us a review of the team's performance in the set pieces, including the kicking game, which was also a big talking point, a few overlaps which could have been exploited from last weekend?
Good day, Nathan. Yes, I mean, we had a good review about our set pieces, and I think we would agree in saying that we felt we had mixed results in terms of that. There were situations where we really provided a good platform, but there was also situations where we could have improved, and we've discussed the reasons behind that. Yes, we created a lot of opportunities, but we did. In some cases, our decision making let us down in terms of executing that properly, and those are the things that we want to correct going into this weekend.
Any further questions? No hands raised. Percy, you can go again.
Thank you, Zina. Zina, maybe I can just ask Frans. Frans, let me ask you in English. Frans, how do you think the situation will differ this time against France, this French side, especially after their performance this past weekend? What type of challenges will they bring you guys as the Springboks?
Hello, Percy. Hope you're well. Yeah, I think obviously it's a different team. The French. In my perspective and my role as a prop, there will be a big emphasis on the scrum and set phases. So I think that's probably the bottom line for me and out of my perspective, and something we need to get right.
Morgan?
Thank you. Hi, Coach. I just want to quickly talk about the mauls that you guys have been employing. It seems in recent matches that it's been nullified a bit by the teams that you are playing against. Is that a concern that you guys are in the back of your minds as you're going now towards France? Because it is a very important part of your game plan. And is there perhaps, have you looked at maybe applying a new strategy in that regard or changing it up a little bit?
Morgan, yes, we've looked at our mauls, and as you would agree that, as I said previously, the teams are bringing or applying different strategies, and we need to be aware of those threats and how to deal with that. Something that we look in terms of that weekly. I think we towards the end of before the start of this end of year tour, we got some good momentum in terms of that. This weekend, obviously, we faced again some different challenges, but we've looked at ourselves and the reasons for that, and we are confident that within what we do, with some tweaks here and there, we can get back to the results that we want, and that is what we work towards.
Yes, hello. Question for France, please. Everyone in France is talking about the next forwards battle. What can you say about that? Do you think we we'll see the strongest forward side? Please. You understand my question?
Yes,
Oh.
yes, Wilfred. Wilfred, yes, I think we can say that France has got a big, strong pack of forwards. I think that's a big part of their game. For us also, the set pieces is important. So it's really going to be a tough battle up front, and it's a battle that we look forward to. From a scrumming perspective, from a mauling perspective, from a general play perspective, I think it's going to be interesting. And yeah, we're quite aware that it's going to be a big challenge, and that we will have to be at our best if we want to get improved result.
Thanks, Zina. Hi, Deon. Hi, Frans. Deon, how serious is Lewis' injury, and have you guys got a timeline of his recovery, or is his tour over?
Morgan, unfortunately, we don't have that. I think he just left this morning for further consultation, and I think as soon as we know that, and the doctor informed us, we will have better news in terms of that. But at this stage, we're not quite. We don't have a timeline in terms of his possible return to the squad.
Thanks, Deon.
Ross?
How's it, guys? France, obviously, against Ireland, the forwards were penalised a couple of times in the scrums. Some interesting calls there. Have you guys had a bit of a review on that, and maybe also chatted to the ref? And are there a few things that you guys need to change ahead of France to the game against France to try and rectify that?
Hi, Ross. Yeah, from my side, obviously, it's not the dominance we wanted. First of all, we have had a review, and I think it's our goal now is to work towards France this weekend, get our plans in place so that we can get better rewards at scrum time. And yeah, on the refs, I haven't talked to the ref. I don't know about the coaches.
Yes, thank you so much, Zina. Zina, can I just ask Coach Deon Davids, can I ask you, there's always this term you guys use as coaches, that the term of consistency in each test match. Obviously, you guys played against Ireland. With Lua de Jager not being available and you guys playing another passionate nation, I'm not asking about team selection, but do you think there's going to be a lot of changes, and is Lua's absence going to cause a lot of disruptions for you guys as a national team?
Personally, we know that Lua is a quality player, and any team losing him as a 5 lock will feel that loss. But luckily, we've got experienced campaigners in Franco Mostert and Marvin Ori available to slot into that place, who are familiar with Test rugby. So yeah, it's their opportunity now. It is a void that we have to fill, and we feel that those two guys in that position are quite capable of doing that.
Let's go Morgan, and then Nathan, and then we'll switch to the floor.
Thank you. Coach, I know this is not entirely in your ambit as the forwards coach, but we do have to maybe discuss just a bit the goal kicking situation. Against Ireland, you guys left a few points on the field that could have swung the game, put more pressure on Ireland. Is there a rethink regarding the goal kicking this weekend? Are we going to see maybe somebody like Mani Lebok, who is an established goal kicker, come into the team to face the French? It will be a big occasion for him if it does happen, and also it's a massive test to have a debut against.
Morgan, we've discussed, obviously we've discussed the whole goal kicking situation as part of our general review, just as for the other departments. It's something that we've looked at, something that we've talked about. And yes, I think we will come to a conclusion in terms of making a decision in terms of that and how we're going to address it. But I think our head coach tomorrow will give a bit more information in terms of that.
Well, let's wrap up with Nathan.
Thank you again, Zina. Sorry. Just touching on what Frans said regarding the refs, it was no secret that the consistency from the officials was a problem and has obviously been a problem for quite some time now. But Coach, do you guys consult with the refs before, during, and after the game? I mean, obviously the coaching staff.
Nathan, yes. Listen, it's general protocol or normal protocol that we review our performance in the game and get an analysis in terms of our own performance by referring to what are the things that we were at fault at, and what are those things that we thought we're unsure about and want to get clarity in terms of guiding, so that we can guide the players better in terms of their execution and in terms of our coaching. So that's normal protocol. And then obviously when we prepare for prepare for opponents, we look at their performances in different areas, and if there's any concerns or if there's anything that we want to clarify, we do that in order to get an understanding in terms of how we prepare. And that is something that we just normally follow in terms of our build up to the game. There was a lot of lessons in the game. I think obviously the biggest thing for us is when we decide on a specific plan in terms of how we want to execute it, it's important that there's massive alignment in terms of that. And then when something goes astray within that plan, it's important that we as a group, as quickly as possible, regroup and adapt to that situation. Maybe in certain cases in this game, it didn't happen as clear as we wanted to, and those are things that we spoke about, and that we feel we can be better at, especially under such immense pressure situations. No, definitely. I mean, you can prepare as hard as possible and with so much detail as possible for what you expect, but rugby is a dynamic game and anything can happen, and within that, our players will have to have the ability to adapt to that, whether it's making strategical changes or identifying space somewhere else in terms of where we've identified it, or maybe the opposition came up with something new that we haven't seen before. So we have to have that ability to make changes within those pressure situations.
That's a difficult question. I don't think, there's obviously here and there a few technical detailed stuff that I don't know if you actually want to listen to. But yeah, there's not much difference in the bigger picture. It's a few technical, detailed, small things, specialized small things, if that makes sense. Okay, so Afrikaans, né?
Afrikaans.
Ja, ek dink soos Coach Deon vroeër gesê het, is daar 'n paar goed uitgelig wat ons graag wil aan werk die week en verbeter op, en dan natuurlik met ons voorbereiding vir Frankryk, is daar 'n paar goed wat ons van hulle sien en wat ons glo hulle plan is, wat ons moet teenwerk en goeie planne in plek kry vir dit, as dit sin maak.